Good morning. My name is Shoshanna Gross. I am the Major Events Manager with the Ohio Restaurant Association, and I'm here today with our Managing Director of Government Affairs and External Affairs, Todd Bowen. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Shoshanna.
We are excited today on our daily dose to talk a little bit more about the Paycheck Protection Flexibility Act that just passed. We do have some actions that you can take to thank your legislators. And then we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of bills that have been moving through the State House recently. And Todd's been working on behalf of the restaurant industry for those. So let's get started. We heard yesterday about the Paycheck Protection Flexibility program passing through the Senate at the federal level. So what are the next steps for folks who are following that?
Yeah, thank you very much, Shoshanna. I know you and John discussed the PPP Flexibility Act at length yesterday in the daily dose, and certainly it's something that we'll talked about in our daily memo yesterday, and we'll do so again today. But what I specifically wanted to touch on today was how important it is that when we do get some positive action by our legislative leaders for our industry, that we make sure that we thank them. And certainly John and I have done that on an official level for the Ohio Restaurant Association, but it's important that they hear directly from owners and operators and others in the industry. And we've set up a couple of tools to help you do that. And your adding your voice is incredibly important. So in yesterday's daily memo, and then there will be again today, a link that you can follow that would then allow you to send an email directly to your legislative leader, and it will identify what district you're in and kind of do that automatically. And certainly if anyone has questions about how that works, I'd be glad to talk to anyone. And then the other thing that we've got set up is you can just get your phone out right now and text PPP thanks to 52886, and that will also allow you to thank our Ohio legislators. And certainly I can tell everyone, both of our Ohio senators and all 16 of our Ohio members of Congress not only voted for this legislation, but really active leaders in talking to their colleagues from all over the country and really essential to getting this across the finish line. So again, text PPP thanks to 52886.
It's so nice as individuals when we get thanks for doing hard work. And so I think everyone can relate to the fact that when we do get a win like this, that it's nice to say thank you. I think legislators really hear a lot from us when we're unhappy with what they're doing or when we need something from them. So just taking that extra moment to say thank you really will go a long way in terms of just making people feel like they've done a good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're really happy to be able to do that. It's really easy. This program writes the letter for you. It identifies who your representatives are. Obviously, it'll send it directly to our two state senators as well. So very easy to do, quick, takes about 2 minutes of your time. So take some time to do that. And then I hear that you have been down at the State House recently doing some testifying on behalf of a couple of bills.
Absolutely. So at the state legislature, there are several things that we're working on, but the two that have been moving within the last week all relate to alcohol flexibility. And we certainly understand that restaurant owners and operators are going to need every chance to operate with as much capacity and profitability as possible. And so the two bills that I've testified on, really the 4 points that we're pushing for are providing greater and permanent flexibility to restaurants and communities to offer alcohol and liquor options in their expanded outdoor seating areas. We know a lot of cities are being very flexible in allowing expanded outdoor seating areas, where a lot of people still feel much more comfortable sitting in outdoor areas. But we know for that to be profitable, if you are a restaurant that sells liquor, that has to be allowed. So we're really pushing for that. And then the other is the kind of the cocktails to go that the Ohio Liquor Control Commission made on a temporary basis. We are pushing for that to be made permanently. And so there's definitely some support amongst the legislature for that. They may change the language from closed container to sealed container, but I've certainly made the point that however they set that up, it has to be something that the average restaurant can do. And that's a point that we've made. And I think that they're listening to that. The third is expanding the DORA, or the designated outdoor refreshment area. And we know a lot of downtown areas in bigger communities, but in fact, in some smaller and mid-sized communities, use this as a way to kind of help both their restaurants have some expanded outdoor seating areas, but also it's a great way for a community to kind of come together and have events and have alcohol appropriately and safely be a part of those events. And then the fourth is we're pushing for the eliminating the need to have a separate liquor license just to sell liquor on Sunday. So if you have a liquor license that covers Monday through Saturday, it would also cover Sunday. And we think that's very important. It's certainly understandable why Sunday was kind of set as a separate day when liquor laws were initially done. But with the advent of Sunday brunch, it's really just time that's another day. So we've been pushing hard for that. So, and I feel confident that at some level, some of these will happen, and we'll keep pushing for them.
Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, you know, what's Sunday brunch without your mimosa, right? So
Absolutely.
We want to make sure everyone can have that available to them. And so what else I thought there was one more thing we were going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So
remembering it. Yeah.
When, as folks may recall, as patios open and then dine-in happened, the question of whether you could have a musician playing on your patio or in your dining room, as folks always used to. And we pressed really hard, and we did get clarification from the state and actually got it into an FAQ document that was allowed. And we got that done literally 2 hours before Friday night on the Memorial Day weekend. So we were really happy with that work. But then we've understood from some of our members, they were very happy that musicians and bands were allowed. But there may be some other entertainment that could also be done safely, socially distanced, and comedians would be a perfect example of that. And so we just got yesterday clarification that really the language is now, instead of musicians and bands, it's that live entertainment appropriately social distanced is allowed, and that would include comedians and others like that. So we're thrilled that change has been made.
That's great. Yeah. So that means that people can come in and still enjoy some live entertainment as long as restaurants and bars are practicing the dine-in safely rules and regulations, including social distancing.
Exactly.
That's really good news. And I think probably some of the freelance performers out there are really happy to hear that as well.
Yeah, I think, you know, certainly it's been great for us to be able to help out the musicians and the comedians while also helping out our Ohio's restaurants and bars. Yes,
always good when we can be intersectional about our support here at the Ohio Restaurant Association. So I think that's it for today, but thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you guys all again soon.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks, Shoshanna.